Chairperson John, Chairperson Stephen, esteemed judges, timekeeper, fellow members. I'm proud to be standing before you today to discuss this incredibly important motion. Few things have changed our world as much as social media. And today I'm going to explain to you why that's not such a good thing. Communicating through social media negatively affects personal relationships. Now, just to define that for you, by communication, we are talking about any public posts. We are not talking about the conversations that go on private messages, direct messages. We're talking about public posts, whether they're words, videos or pictures. By social media, we're defining this as the two biggest social media sites in the world. That's Facebook and Twitter. And by personal relationships, these may be any type of personal relationship that you have, but these are the personal relationships created outside of social media. Ricky is going to talk you through how we actually create a fake persona for ourselves on social media accounts. The you that the world sees on Twitter and on Facebook is not the real you. He's going to explain how that avoids actual conversation. It doesn't show up some of the problems that we're dealing with. He's also going to talk about those relationships we have in our lives that are already not good relationships, and how social media even has a negative impact on those. He's going to talk to you about the dangerous world of cyberbullying and the impact that that has on our young people. And then Ben is going to talk you through the issues when you start to blur the lines between public and private. He's going to show how this can break down relationships, how private information is suddenly shared with the world. And after that, I'm sure you will agree with us that communicating through social media negatively affects personal relationships.
Dear Mr. Co-Chair, dear judges, dear opposition, dear JCI members. We are standing here to oppose the statement that communication through social media negatively affects personal relationships. This is not true. Communications has actually a positive effect on personal relationships. In our argument, Elsa is going to start with how the personal connection is helping us bettering and deepening our relations. It is unthinkable to work without it in any possible way. Gregor is going to tell something about innovation and how social media is replacing the traditional ways of communicating. And Gregor is going to tell us about the transparency that's taking cyberbullying outside of the dark alleys and the hidden rooms that have been going on. So communications is in social media actually gives a positive effect in personal relationships. Thank you very much.
Hello. Opposition. I want to take you through not only what Ilona talked us through about the negative effects on personal relationships, the detrimental aspect of social media on hiding behind a persona that you can generate and create and pretend to other people, to the 1,000 people on your Facebook or your Twitter followers, showing that you're something that you potentially, actually deep down inside, maybe completely not the person you think you are presenting through pictures, through the words that you present. People have underlying problems, and I want to give you an example about an aspect of which is quite personal to me, because I'm actually helping a mental health NHS trust, the hospital, and a girl's case came up where she committed suicide. 15-year-old, hid behind a persona of having a great life, enjoying school, being a ballerina, and she committed suicide because she was hiding behind the aspect of her world being broken apart through her relationships with her mum and her parents, and showing that she's having a great upbringing and great relationship through social media. Nobody really understood the aspects of her behaviour. She threw herself under a train in King's Cross in London because the only people who really understood her were the psychiatrists. I want to show to you that actually having this Facebook profile and a Twitter follower of 18,000 followers actually was detrimental to her health and also her life. So, using social media to hide under a persona is negatively affecting these young people, and not only young people. So I implore you to understand that actually social media has a negative effect on people. Look at pictures. Pictures can be taken in a very different way. You could have seen me holding this girl in the swimming pool on the other night in EC. And if without the words and context, this could go terribly wrong. So, once again, please do understand, social media without the context is very dangerous. Thank you very much.
Said for something that have been said already. But how many of you know each other, not just from here, but on Facebook? Please raise your hands. So, how would we do today in this world without Facebook, Twitter, and all the social media it's bringing us? How can you not say that a picture is better than 1,000 words? Pictures can always be interpreted, but it's always us that is interpreting. Personal relations are deepened and more connected when you use Facebook and Twitter. You meet more people and you can keep relationships going on. I can give you an example. I was on Twitter and I was using the word 1,000 chances with one of the Dutch projects that we had. And it's through that medium that we got in touch with the right governments and with the right people also doing projects. It is with that attitude that you can have better projects and also get better personal relationships. Then there's also the whole idea that it will only dissolve the reason that you're standing in front of me. Now, of course, you have to be also in front of someone to make a good connection. The connection is also about keeping and following someone and having a connection all the time. We live in a world where everything is 24 hours. That Facebook and Twitter are the ways you can show people what you're doing and you can keep them connected all the time.
Considering in a 24-hour world, surely everyone needs a break at some point, so surely it's actually been detrimental to people's personal, physical, mental health.
Health is a very important issue. That's why on Facebook you can post also a lot about health. And I post sleeping pictures as well, because it's really important to sleep. I do know Ilona has a really nice website where she's very, very busy, and I just think, when does she get a break? So getting breaks is really important. As I see her now, she's doing quite well, so I think we can manage that ourselves pretty well and keep ourselves up to date with that. If you want to move fast, you can, but on Facebook you can also get a lot of things like Zen and learn more about that. That is how you can also keep in touch and see that or get new ideas from being on Facebook. One of the things during this session that I've learned also is that you can meet again. European Academy was meeting, and I didn't know because it wasn't on Facebook during the last few days, but I met everybody in person, and then I went to my Facebook and I knew where we had to go, and I'm not an organized person. So that's why we think that social media really deepens personal relations and gets you connected.
Chairman, Deputy Chair, judges and friends. Today I'll be talking about how posting on social media can really affect your personal relationships and how it can damage long-term friendships that have been established in what we all call the real world. Well, first I'd just like to come back on a point that my colleague on the opposition made there. She said when she has time off from Facebook, she posts sleeping pictures. How? If you're asleep, you cannot post fake pictures unless you're pretending to be asleep to put forward the personality that you are taking away from Facebook. It's a catch-22 and plays perfectly the band of what my esteemed colleague Ricky set out in his argument. I addressed you all as friends, and in this context we are. But in recent years, that term has changed. It used to mean somebody you had a deep and lasting relationship with. It now means somebody you met at a conference somewhere for a couple of days, and you've got something in common with them, don't get me wrong, but you don't know them truly. That used to be an acquaintance, not a friend. Nowadays, a friendship, or a so-called friendship, can be ended with the click of a single button. A new word has been added to the Oxford Dictionary. Unfriend. I've never unfriended anyone in my life. I fall out with them, we grow apart, but I've never gone, nah, you're no longer my friend, bye. It doesn't happen. But this can happen whether you want it to or not. If you post something, whether it be a status, a picture, a video, and it's taken out of context, that can have a negative effect. But more importantly, you may think you've got control over that data, of that image, of that text. You haven't. It is no longer owned by you. It's in the ether of the internet and is in the complete public domain. Anyone can have access to it. Even with the strictest restrictions on Facebook, people can still see it. And this is not just things created by yourselves. It's images. At the party last night, I'm sure there was hundreds of people taking photos, and they went straight on social media. You may be in the background of that, doing something you don't want somebody else to see. Then that can be seen. So you may think you've got a tight rein and a tight control over you and who you are, but believe me, you haven't. And it's not just in that context. It can have a bigger impact on your personal life, in the fact it can mean you lose your job, or don't get a job you're going for. Nowadays, more and more employers are searching Facebook and social media to see what kind of person it is. My business director in my chamber is a digital lawyer, and most of his work at the moment is coming from doing talks to universities about, to graduates, how what they post on social media can have a negative consequence. So ladies and gentlemen, I urge you to back this motion that communicating through social media has negatively affects personal relationships.
Chairperson, co-chairperson, esteemed judges, fellow JCI friends, government. That was a pretty good speech just now. My compliments to the government. I was dearly impressed. I will definitely post on Facebook or on Twitter how impressed I was. I hope that will positively affect our personal relationship. The social media, Facebook and Twitter, during this debate especially, is a new way of communicating. Communication evolves, and it will keep evolving. Communication is also always between human beings, between us as persons. This innovation makes possible for us to more directly, more efficiently, more frequently connect and share information. This way, by making a faster connection, a more direct connection, a more efficient connection, we can quicker help each other move on and address the issues we have. It is by making information available fast and efficient, we dare to ask and get solutions to the issues that we have at hand. It actually helps us achieve to be the network of young professionals that we want to be. Then the transparency argument. Cyberbullying is, of course, a horrendous topic, and it should be addressed and it should be tackled. And also, there is one example that has been given, and although detrimental and horrendous as it is one example. Bullying now, through social media, has been made public, and by making it as part of the public domain, we can address bullying now, whether rather than keeping it in the back alleys and not being able to address it. So, fight bullying and start a revolution through social media. A picture does really say more than 1,000 words, and this way we will communicate better and more heard. Thank you.
Thank you. We've now heard both sides of the argument, but from where I've been sitting, I've just been hearing the same argument. I've been hearing how easy it is to share information on social media. We've heard that a picture speaks 1,000 words, that it's quicker and easier to share the information that you want to share with the rest of the world. But is that information or is that misinformation? Is your picture speaking the right 1,000 words? And who is it speaking them to? These points are there. It is quicker, it is faster, it is non-stop. They are not good things for your personal relationship. My colleague on the opposition showed concern for when I might sleep because I look so busy on social media. But has she ever phoned me to ask how I am? Has she popped over to see whether there's anything she can do? Am I actually too busy? Has she even sent a private message to say, are you as busy as you look? Because those people who I have strong personal relationships with, they know that I lie in the mornings. I get plenty of sleep and it's not an issue. That is misinformation out there, either because I want you to think that or because you've misconstrued what I put on social media. We've talked about taking cyberbullying and taking bullying out of the dark alleys. We all knew bullying existed. Social media was not a revelation. We all went to school, many of us in the days before social media, and I'm showing my age ever so slightly there. Bullying was a fact, it happened, and we tried to deal with it. And in many cases, we dealt with it better than we're dealing with it now. Giving people another forum to bully somebody relentlessly, 24/7, to bully somebody quickly and more effectively than ever before, does not positively affect your relationships. So I beg you today, support our motion and show that communicating through social media negatively affects our personal relationships. Thank you.
Let me take you back to the argument stated, or if I have to, because it was already posted on Facebook, of course. The personal connection argument we made. A picture says more than 1,000 words. You can always interpret your own way of the friendship you have. A picture shows a personal connection with a friend on a holiday. It deepens the connection you have with a friend. The opposition argued that they are no longer friends. They are not friends. They are just somebody you know. But with this new innovation, those people you just know can become friends. So we also had the innovation argument. It is a more efficient way of sharing information. When your friends are abroad, you can just pop up and say, hey, I'm here. I'm enjoying my life. Or, hey, I'm here. I'm lost. And people you know can help you through this social media. This technology makes it possible to be the leading global network. And this is what JCR wants. It widens our perspective. It gives us more possibility to connect. We also have the transparency argument, where cyberbullying is taking place now in the public domain. But it's actually a good thing, because media has given the attention to it. There's going to be professional help for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I urge you to post this statement that social media actually positively attributes to personal connections. Thank you.